Hello guys, welcome to another installment of Allotment to Plate. It's been a little while. As you can see from the video, I had a bit of dramas with my compost being delivered. It was meant to be delivered to my allotment plot, but the company called Shore Green, they told me to use the 3-word location finder on my phone. So I downloaded this app, went to my allotment, got the 3 words, sent it to them, and they still delivered it to my home address. Luckily, my little helper and me had the bags from Carl to help us, so we filled up all these bags with the compost and I divided it between the 3 sites. Yeah, it was a bit painful, and everything happens for a reason. At the end of my road, there was this lady. She was having her allotment converted, so all the wood from the roof she put in the skip, and I was just driving past and I stopped and I asked her if I could take the wood, and she happily obliged. So I took all that wood, and I thought that would come in very handy for making my beds. So, as you know, this is allotment 1. I am doing a no-till, but yeah, everything happens for a reason. Allotment 1, the ground was quite uneven, and this is Terry. Terry's an amazing bloke. He has the allotment next to me. He is teaching me a lot of things. He's a very nice guy. He doesn't actually know that this is the first and last time his tiller is touching my allotment. He thinks he's going to till it again, but I have told him I'm doing a no dig, but I don't think he quite understands what that means. So yeah, he offered to till my land, the bit that was ready. I thought it would be a good idea to till it and then rake it to get it flat. These videos are not a how-to videos, really. They're not. They're just videos for myself, really, to document what I'm doing and to see if it works. It's not really a videos for people to do what I'm doing, or this is the best way to do things, not in the slightest. It is really just to document what I'm doing and see what happens. It's a good experience. I do enjoy my allotments and meeting people like Terry, amazing bloke. So he's spent the whole afternoon, as you can see, tilling my land, and then I raked it, just smoothing it out. It was quite good because it got rid of quite a lot of the weeds, and as you can see, quite a while back, I think late last year, I did cardboard most of this land to suppress the weeds, and as you can see, it did do quite well, but the cardboard, some of it is on the land. It will break down over time and it did stop a lot of the weeds coming through, but as you can see, the weeds have started to come through again, and the tilling did kill a lot of them, which was good. But I know the roots are still down there, so I have decided what I'm going to do to build my beds is cover it again with cardboard. I've got the compost now, and just build the beds with the cardboard underneath, so that would suppress the weeds for a bit longer, hopefully, and keep everything quite clear. And I'll just weed it as they start to come up again through the compost and the cardboard. But the cardboard should hold it for quite a while. So I am starting the no dig allotment with a digging technique, but I think sometimes you need to do things to go forward. You need to go slightly backwards. I don't think it's backwards though. It allowed me to level off my ground nicely, as you can see, and so I raked it all sort of made it all level. I was pretty pleased with it. That's all the wood right at the back there that I collected from the the loft conversion. Those are my composting bays, 2 that I turned into each other. And I've got a third one going as well. And I've got the leaf mold going as well as the last bay. So yeah, the composting is going well, I think. It's all, learning experience. Oh, that's a little present from another allotment friend of mine that I've made. He gave me some chives and them flowers, which is very sweet. This is what I do really think is nice about the allotment, is the community thing. Like someone like me and Terry would probably never have talked to each other walking down the road or in any walk of life, but the allotment has crossed our paths, and he's now I know him now, don't I? So we talk, he gives me advice. He's a very charismatic fella, which I enjoy. I love human beings as well as don't like human beings. It's a double-edged sword, isn't it? You like the nice ones and you like the not so nice ones. But so here's me covering up the ground now, the tilled ground with cardboard, and I've got the planks of wood, and I've got my compost. I didn't do any sort of measurements or anything like that, but watching these videos, editing it, because I have started the other 2 allotment sites as well, the beds in there. I have decided to make my bed slightly smaller. Allotment 2, the beds I have made like market bed gardens. I've made it 75 centimeters wide with I think 30-meter footpaths, and it seems to work quite well. I think that's going to be more manageable than a really big bed which I've made in allotment 1, which has made me decide to change this. Maybe I'm gonna maybe make this bed slightly smaller, so that there might be an update soon of me changing the size of this bed. And also I have watched a few YouTube videos about not exactly swirls, but preserving water if your land is on a slope, which allotment 1 is. It's slightly on the slope, it's going down towards the right, and I'm thinking of changing the size of the bed and making it maybe raised on the right side so that it holds water a bit better, like sort of like a swell, but not exactly, because I'm not growing trees or anything like that. It's not really, it's the principle of a swell, I suppose, but not the actual execution of a swell, because you do need, I think, trees to eventually create the swell and make it efficient and effective, and to collect the water. So in that aspect, it's not really going to be like that. But I am thinking of making the bed slightly smaller than what I've made it in this video, and making it maybe on a slope, sort of, where the right side will be slightly lifted. But we'll see. I'm still playing around with that idea. But as you can see, I've covered quite a bit of the land with the cardboard, and I used twine string to just do some rough measurements of the bed with a bit of stick. I hammered it in, and then I laid the boards along the line. I did use a compass to see where my beds were facing, and it is facing sort of north to south, or I'll say northeast to south, west. So I might change it again as I've watched this video and I've edited it. This is the only bed I've made in allotment 1, so it is all changeable still. Nothing is set in concrete, so I might change the direction a bit still. I did see a YouTube video saying it's better to have your beds facing north to south. Correct me if I'm wrong. if you're in the northern hemisphere, because of the sun sets to the west, rises in the east, I do believe. So you should have your bed facing north to south, so it catches it sort of all day long. But correct me if I'm wrong, please. So I'm sort of in between that. I'm northeast to southwest. So I'll use the twine to measure the size of the bed, and then lay the wooden boards along, made sure they're more or less straight, and then started filling. I must admit the compost that did get delivered was quite warm. It was quite a hot compost, so I haven't put anything in there yet. I have got some plants. I put a short video up and started to grow some lettuce, and I have started to grow some tomatoes and the usual beetroots, celery, cucumber, peppers, all in little plugs. I started them at work, actually, at the diner, so I put a video up on that. That reminds me, I'm having so much trouble with my phone camera, so these last videos are probably going to be the last videos I'm making on the camera, on my phone camera. I've got my GoPro out of retirement. I've dug it out of, it's a really old GoPro. I think it's like the 8 or 9. I had it when I was doing my travels many years back. So I'm going to start using that to do the videos, because my phone is giving me so much tip with editing and recording. I did it even on my Allotment 3, making the beds. I lost all the footage, nearly, more or less, of that one, but I thought it wasn't that essential anyway, because it is more or less the same what you're seeing here. And as I said before, this is not how you do video. It is for my own records. My girlfriend says they are quite boring, which I do, definitely. If I wasn't into gardening, I wouldn't watch these videos, but I am into gardening. So it is for people who are into this sort of thing, who find this interesting, and see, we want to compare what they're doing to other people, that sort of thing. So that's the sort of videos this is for. It's not a how-to video, not at all, because I don't know how to. This is all experimental for me. I've never grown before, and if I can grow one thing and harvest it and cook it, I'll be pleased. That's more than satisfactory for me, but hopefully I'll achieve more than that. But so I've started filling the beds with the compost, as you can see. I put quite a few bags in there. In retrospect, I think maybe this bed is a bit too big for what I need. I can't really reach into the middle, and also the reason I made it that big was because that rhubarb plant, which I found on the allotment site, it appeared out of nowhere. Terry, who's next to me, said that my neighbour, that's where he planted these rhubarb. So I think they come up by themselves more or less every year. So I will try and pick some of that at some point, and maybe make a crumble or vinaigrette or something like that. That'd be quite interesting. It's not really my first sort of growth. I didn't grow it, and I didn't nurture it, so it's not like I've grown it and harvested it and I'm cooking it. So, which is the principle of these videos as well, really, because I want to see if I can grow something, harvest it, and then cook it, and eventually try and use it in a pop-up or at the diner, or we've just taken over a new venue in Peckham as well. So there's lots of little ideas that go through this little mind of mine. So just try and do something. And as you know, I'm going all organic, no pesticides, no fertilizer. I'm making my compost. Just trying to be as natural as possible. which I think will make all the flavour of the food good. So yeah, that's the beds nearly filled. As you can see, there's quite a bit of compost in there, which looking back now, I think I could have made more beds and used less compost, which I think I'm going to go back and redo these beds again. So you're going to see another video, I think, once I've decided what I'm doing. So yeah, I raked it all in. As you can see, I think it's quite a good job for my first bed. Not bad at all. Really enjoyed doing it. And I've seen so many YouTube videos saying that you can walk on your beds if it's just compost. It's not like soil where it does get a bit compacted, but compost doesn't really get, it's like a sponge you're walking on. It does bounce straight back, and when you rake it, it just flakes back up again. So I didn't mind walking on it, and also it just packs everything into, gets all sort of the air pockets out, I think, as well, walking through it a little bit. Yeah, so I raked that, tried to level it up as best as possible, and then gave it a good water. And that's my first bed, guys. From where I was a few months, well, last year to here, where I've made this video, I think I'm very pleased with my progress. Very, very pleased. It's an exciting time. I can't wait to actually put some plants into the ground, water them, watch them grow, see what comes of them. Yeah, this one it's exciting. If people who I grew up with could see me doing this now, this is not how we grew up, but this is what is necessary in our communities these days, I think. Things like this. That's my bed, guys. Thank you.